Boom, bam, bam. Welcome to the United Hour. This is the breakdown where we break down all the football analysis concerning Manchester United's preseason tour and our game this morning against the Melbourne Victory, which we beat 4-1. So before we jump into the particulars, I'm just gonna go around the panel and get an idea from the guys what were the general, not the specifics, but the overall sentiment of how you felt, looking at the game. Yeah, we're gonna get into the specifics afterwards. So let's start off with the man right next to me, Devin. What do you thought about the game this morning?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody watching now. I was actually pleased with the game for the most part. I was not happy about conceding 4 minutes into the match. You could see what Ten Hag was trying to do. It did show, though, that if we play our fullbacks up so high, that we could be exposed on the counterattack. And if Melbourne was able to cut in Carvas like that in 4 minutes, you could imagine what a Premier League side would do with that same opportunity. So that was something that I didn't like. It seems they got their act together as the game went on. I like seeing how the youth were getting involved in the game. I thought Zidane Iqbal actually was very impressive. So everything you're hearing about him, it seems that he is on a mission to prove it right now. So for that, I am very satisfied. I am pleased with the result again, but I am not getting too carried away. But overall, you can see what Ten Hag's trying to do already. And I'm also very pleased when you can see the difference in the way that the players are running the season compared to last season is something that is also very impressive what I'm seeing as well.
All right, Big Phil.
Yeah, good afternoon. All of us, if not most of us, were up at 6:00 this morning to watch the game. I was messaging a friend. I was asking, why United don't tour in the US or some part of Mexico so that the time difference won't be over 10 hours, right? So, but no, that's what you call being a true fan. We waking up at these sort of times to watch our team, right? I kind of add/counteract Devins with regards to conceding. I'm not surprised we didn't concede, but I think if we had a faster center back, we would have somebody would have been there to cut out the cross, right? But overall, I'm seeing glimpses of Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. Definitely impressed with what he can do. I thought we were more threatening on the right side. The team up of Alanga and Shaw on that left side definitely does need some work. But hey, Tony Martial is getting back onto the team sheet. I think that Zidane Iqbal has been having a better preseason than Donny van de Beek. And that is something to be concerned about. Not totally concerned, but it's a good and a bad thing because you like to see the youngsters definitely being able to express themselves during preseason, but you kind of want Donny van de Beek to get up to par with a manager who he's accustomed to, right? A more confident manager than the previous managers. So definitely enjoyed watching the game today. We didn't panic when we went a goal down. That's one thing I realized. We kept on pressing and pressing and pressing. The goal eventually did come from a deflection. And what I like is that the front three are actually pressing and we're not like, I don't know if you guys realize, but last season we were spraying the ball a lot in the air. We were playing a lot of like the direct football. I'm seeing the ball more on the ground. I'm not seeing any rush football, and that's from both games thus far. Can we take this same philosophy and blueprint and translate it into the upcoming season? Let's see.
Adrian, what are your thoughts on the game?
All right. Pleasant good afternoon to everyone in the panel and those who are viewing. The game, I would say I enjoyed it. I mean, as Big Phil said, when the first goal scored, what I liked about the team is that they didn't panic, because you saw it in games last season where we went down and it's like, trying to rush and trying to, we still kept at it. We kept plugging, at the team until we got the goal. I mean, it was a little scrappy, but at the end of the day, goals win matches, you know. And what I observed about the game also is like I felt like Melbourne felt like playing one against one of our lower league teams, that like to sit back and think. So for me, I was watching it as use this as a how to put it, as something going forward for when we meet these teams who like to sit back. That
Yeah,
that when we get the chance, they want to counter and so on. So even though as yesterday they scored first, that okay, that don't happen already. Let me try and get back this goal and even go further than that. And to see the fact that we got 2 goals in like 3 minutes or something like that, around that. So yeah, I was really amazed at that. And you guys hit the points with the youths playing also. I wouldn't lie. These youths come out hungry. And for me, if anything else, it has some men how to watch out. That's some men how to watch out because I watch the youth that I really watch today is Savage. I love his range of passing though. I mean, as you know, I play for a match striker. I would love to have a midfielder like that playing behind me, being able to pick me out anywhere. And for me, he's real simple and composed. And so, Iqbal, wow. I mean, the only little problem with him, I find he just hold on the ball a little too much. But other than that, the decision making for young players, I really admire it. And then, as you all said before, you're seeing something different from last season. You're seeing that, something shaping up or something coming to be. So I really hope that going forward, that we would stick to whatever game plan or whatever tactics that Eric Ten Hag has brought. Because so far, so good. I mean, yes, it's preseason, but I would love to see this and better when the season starts.
All right, all right, all right. Good afternoon to Carlton, Martin, Nigel, and all of those people taking us in. Remember to share. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't as yet, remember to subscribe. I want to read this comment from Nigel. He says, overall, I found that the second half team played more like they were in sync and with each other compared to the first half. And it should be told, the second half team looked better.
Mm-hmm.
They looked more in control.
Don't forget the second half team comprised of academy products.
Who
Yeah,
have been
no,
playing
well,
for
exactly.
years,
But
and just
we,
playing
we,
that style of system. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
so we're gonna definitely get into that when we start talking about the second half. My overall thoughts on the game was, what Adrian said is like when I look at this team was playing 5 at the back with a row of 3 ahead of the 5 and then 2 strikers. And I was thinking this is like we playing a Burnley or some one of these teams in the lower half of the table, low block, compact, hard to break down. The overloads in the box was working because Scott McTominay had 2 shots pretty open before he finally got one to deflect. So it was 3 shots and all he got in the box, being the late runner in the box because everybody was concerned on marking and clogging up the middle. So it left space. Now, it wasn't easy shots to take because you had to shoot through traffic. But you saw where the late runners into the box was getting space and the cutback was working. And I actually prefer that cut back to the top of the box than just kicking the ball into the danger area and the goalkeeper just coming out and collecting it or the defenders just booting it out because it's so congested in there. 1 or 2 times Martial got a ball in there and Rashford, and they just couldn't do anything because there was so much defenders inside of there. You know what I mean? So I like the way the team is playing. I like the cutbacks. I like that we continue to plug away. What I didn't like, and I suspect it is because of the training, is that we never increased the pace, right? We were playing a consistent pace and we never sped it up. We never made pass the ball faster. And I suspect is that the guys are getting used to the system. So they were kind of running through the pace they're doing in training, and probably with time,
Time, yes.
we would be able to see team, because sometimes when you're playing a low block team, it's not that what you're doing wrong, sometimes you just need to speed it up, and it makes it harder for them to adjust. We didn't speed it up at all. We played the same pace whole game. The pace never dropped. The pace never went up. For 90 minutes to see the team play one pace was strange, because normally we don't do that, right? Normally we go through phases, but we play the same pace whole game. I know that is because of training, Ten Hag's training, and I guess with time the guys would be able to speed it up. But overall, I was pleased. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's talk about the first goal. I've heard two versions of this.
Wait, our first goal or their first goal?
No, their first goal, the first goal in the game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've heard two versions, right, of the same goal. So one version is that Fred and Scott was out of position, right? They were pressing too high up the pitch, and that is what allowed the guy to come down the left-hand side and allowed him the space, so that when Lindelof was trying to reach out to him, he couldn't, and the ball was crossed and the guy kicked it in. That's one version. I can't disagree with that completely, but what concerned me more wasn't that those guys were out of position. What concerned me more is that Harry Maguire was in position. Harry Maguire was where you want your centre back to be. And Harry Maguire was unable to catch the runner in the middle. Right? That is what concerned me more. He was in the right place. He was doing the right thing, but he just couldn't keep up with the runner. So, when you all look at the first goal, what is of greater concern to you? Shaw's positioning or Harry's lack of pace? Talk to me, Devin.
So I think for this one, I think it was just both wing backs being so high up the pitch. We didn't it yeah, so obviously being so high up the pitch, you're not gonna come back in time if they hit us on the counter attack. And then we all know that Maguire is not the fastest person. He also has only been training for a week, so I give him a little benefit of the doubt for now.
That is true. He wasn't training with
For
everybody.
now, but just I know everybody wants to crucify me and him for that, but for now, I give him benefit of the doubt. Start getting up to speed again. But yeah, it also showed that if you're going to play that high up the pitch, you cannot be playing with Lindelof and Maguire in the back. As of now, you need a pacier center back. Bailly has actually, well, it kind of says Bailly, seeing if he can stay fit would have been the ideal pairing for if you're going to play that system. But you know what? Let it happen now in preseason rather than in season. So now we figure it out. You know how to resolve it. So,
Phil?
I'm gonna read something that Ten Hag said. So Ten Hag on the goal conceded. I don't want to talk about the individual because I think it was from the start high up the pitch. The wrong choices, and then it ends up like a pack of cards. It's not one individual. It is more the team who made mistakes, right? I want to agree and disagree. I think that Lindelof should have been a bit more aggressive in stopping the guy from crossing the ball because you've been playing with Harry Maguire for quite a while and you know he's not the quickest, right? So, when a ball comes across the box, there's more of a 70% chance that whoever is in that position will get the ball before Harry Maguire, right? I mean, I wasn't surprised because it was a pairing of Lindelof and Maguire, right? But I guess side with Devin on this one in terms of it's the first preseason game for Harry Maguire, right? And it's also I guess the first preseason that Maguire and Lindelof are working together and they're just shaking off the rust, right? So let it happen in preseason, but when August 5th comes, leave that stuff in preseason. August 5th is August 7th, right?
yeah.
Okay, when August 7th comes, leave that stuff in preseason. That's all I can say.
Yeah, so Adrian, What was a bigger concern for you? Sure, being out of position and letting the attacker run on the left, or Harry Maguire lack of pace?
I would say it's um I'd say it's a combination of the both. A combination. Now, I don't want to be too hard on Shaw because remember at the time the play was going forward, right? So I wouldn't blame him too much. But yes, he had a small part to play. My bigger concern again would be Harry Maguire. I mean, yes, I understand you guys are saying that you know, yeah, playing a while, shaking up Ross. But for me, as a player, from the position that that guy got that ball on the wing, there's only one possible play he could have made, which was to cross the ball.
He
And
does.
Right? One possible play to cross. So me, even though, okay, I may be lacking pace, I can't keep up with the player, I could anticipate the ball. So, you know, that ball coming across, if I could have think and get back to the ball, where's the worst could happen? I consider a corner, I win the ball and clear it out, or something, or I might miss. Might. But not even an attempt was made to get the ball coming across. Yes, again, I heard someone mention Lindelof too. He should have been a bit more aggressive, yes. But the ball missed Lindelof. And the thing about it is that's where we had to come as a team. So if it is, I go, I get beaten, somebody had to cover for me. So Harry Maguire basically is the cover for Lindelof, should he miss or not really play. But for me, as a player, the only one thing that man could have done in that play was a cross. So I think Harry should have been anticipating the cross. And with him not anticipating or it don't come across, too late because the ball don't beat you, man, one-on-one with Heaton, 99% of the times a striker not going to miss that. You know? So yeah.
Where was going on, say, Phil?
Nah, Adrian does have a point, because the man who crossed the ball already done beat Lindelof, so he only got one play. He ain't get cut back unless it
And
is like.
again, if you watch it, Harry Maguire positioning on the guy in the middle was good. Even when they were running, it was good.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the man just
I saw
outrun him.
Harry Maguire sprinting, but I know that he's all out when his head is down. If his head is up, and I'm not even surprised that Harry Maguire put up his hand to ask if it was offside, but it is what it is, man. It is.
Well, that is all you could hope for, when you're in that position and you know the cross coming and you can't reach it. You could only hope the man rule outside. You can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things we had to look at, and I don't think I'm saying anything revolutionary here. I'm not saying anything that Ten Hag, needs to know, right? Teams that play a high line. If you look at Liverpool, if you look at Manchester City, the teams that play the kind of football that Ten Hag is having these guys play, when you lose the ball, get it back quickly, stay high up the pitch, your defenders literally on the halfway line. The one way to get to those teams are balls over the top with quick attacking runners, or balls through on the ground, through balls with quick attacking runners. That is the only way. A lot of times City concedes goals on the counter attack. A lot of times when you look at City and Liverpool playing together, how it is, Liverpool is breakdown City. Those balls from Alexander-Arnold over the top and a quick run from Mane or Salah. That is how these teams get broken down. If we want to play that kind of football, that is what we have to be concerned about. And I cannot see Lindelof and Harry Maguire being our starting centre-back pairing. They are not fast enough.
I agree.
I don't get me wrong. I do expect us to have two speedsters, but you need at least one. One of those centre backs need to have recovery pace.
It's just it really is interesting though that right around the same time as when you see the goal get conceded today, the news breaks about Lisandro Martinez. Just saying.
And well, he is also very athletic, so I don't know how fast he is, but I know he's a very athletic center back.
He's faster than Harry Maguire, and that's all that matters.
I'm sure we're certain about
Phil,
That's all that matters.
Phil, I don't understand you. You and I might be faster than
Everybody on this panel is faster.
and we don't play. I mean, Devin and Adrian just play football still. We don't play, and we might be faster than Harry Maguire.
You choose violence today, boy.
Good afternoon to Kes. Kes is saying, I will say the Savage and Iqbal are the present and the future. I agree with that. We're going to talk about those guys in the second half.
Well, it's interesting though that they bring up the people who are the future, but one point that I have noticed is that there's still two youth that we have yet to see on this tour that I have been very much wanting to see.
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
that's true.
I think Garner may be injured, so I was told, but it's
so I am very interested to see when Ten Hag unleashes them with the system, whether he plays them with our, I guess we could say our elder first half squad this preseason, or he puts him with the youth side for the second half like he's been doing.
Because if Alejandro Garnacho performs, let's say he does if he's given a chance in preseason, and he steps up to the plate, Alanga got competition,
Yes, and I also think our matchup on Tuesday versus Crystal Palace is such a great time to unleash him because Crystal Palace does not have a strong preseason side. A lot of their players got left behind, so yeah. I could definitely see that being an opportunity. It's just something that I noticed that I'm starting to wonder why.
I've heard, though I'm not gonna quote the source, but I've heard that the reason why that there are issues with Hannibal as far as disciplinary issues. No, when the person told me this, I was like, I never hear anything about Hannibal with discipline before. So where this come out?
He wasn't one of the two that I was surprised about. So
right. So I don't know. He's on the tour, but we haven't seen Hannibal. We haven't seen Ghana. I heard Ghana had a little knock. I'm really hoping it's just a knock and not that we're not going to get a look at Ghana. And then Garnacho is like, okay, now I realize Ten Hag has only played 22 players, both games, right? Forget about the exact, it's not the exact, 22 players. And he hasn't made any additional subs. So first game, okay, you looked at certain players. Second game, you looked at certain players. Let's see what happens because we didn't have any Palestri in this game. Let's see what the third game brings. Because if after the third game, we didn't see some of these guys, I think it's time for us to get worried. Especially Garnacho. I think everybody thought Garnacho was the one who was going to make the next step up. But based on what we're seeing, Savage and Iqbal looking stating a claim. So let's just talk about the first goal. So Scott, after two opportunities that went a begging, right? They were deflected out for corners. Finally got a deflection that ended up in the back of the net. Again, run down, Sancho cut back. And I mean, by the time it scored, we saw that like about 2 times before. So we saw the gameplay. Overall, apart from the goal, Scott looked okay to me, The second goal, I have a question for you all. Do you all think that Elanga mishit, or do you think he passed the ball on?
Well, that was a mishit. That was a mishit.
So that was a shot from Elanga.
Sorry, guys, but I can't agree with all you there. I can't. I wouldn't say that was a mishit.
It was.
It looked like a parion to you.
It looked like a pass to me. Because to me, when he think he look across the Martial. Again, I could be wrong, but it didn't look like a mistake to me.
The reason why I asked the question is because there's a question in my mind.
So I
thought it was a mistake, but when I watched the replay, the way Elanga's foot was, it could be a mistake, but it could have also been an intentional pass.
Well, we will never know because he always say that.
A striker's first instinct when you're inside of that box is
to shoot. I agree.
It's to shoot, yeah, right? And I agree.
Yeah.
But then
if he was shooting, the way he would have positioned his body would have been different. That was my challenge. My challenge was how his body shaped.
Well, because for me,
also sometimes when you're in the box like that, you won't have time to position your body. You just get something on it. I hope you get lucky as well because it's instinct just trying to get something on it. So,
Kes bring it up.
It could go about either. It could go either way for me. It doesn't. It could go either way.
Correct.
Kes is bringing up Ericsson here, and the one thing that stood out to me was how poor we still are at set pieces, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Until one of the youths took up corner in the second half. I mean, Bruno's first corner didn't be the first man. Shaw's was a little better, but too close to the goalkeeper. I mean, come on.
Correct.
I mean, Ericsson might play just to take set pieces.
But Chad, I always wonder too. I mean, I play for, and I sure I just serve better corners than that. Wow. I cannot remember the last time I swung a corner and a keeper gate.
It's just for me, like, okay, if you have a good keeper, a good corner should be placed somewhere between the 6 and the penalty spot. If
and the penalty spot, correct.
It's within the 6 or above, keeper needs to be playing that. But the cardinal sin for me is when you fail to beat the first man.
Yes, correct.
But it's almost like, so on the right side, we should put a left footer to take the corner, and on the left side, put a right footer to take the corner. Because
it does not that to me does not matter as long as you can place the ball in the box.
The way I saw it today is like a right footer on the right side is going to curve in, so it has a keeper has more of a chance of catching it versus like on the right side. A left footer, the keeper has more of a chance.
When it's curving out. It's true.
Yeah, swingers versus out swingers, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
For me, I would prefer out swingers because then I'm not giving the keeper a chance to get our ball.
Exactly. That's exactly what
I never like in swinging corners. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a right footer and I just take corners on the left side and I don't ever swing that ball. I look at the aim, as you said.
They're both pros and cons, right? They're both pros and cons, right? Because for a swinger, if you get a good header onto the ball, the momentum is going to beat the keeper faster. If you know what I mean, right? Because the ball swinging
with the ball swinging
momentum,
out, right? You have to provide the power.
Yeah.
You know, well, I had to agree with Carlton here with this, where he says, you know, Bruno can't continue to. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ericsson now, so.
Well, yeah, but are we going to see Bruno and Ericsson on the pitch regularly? We don't know, right?
I don't know. We got Sancho. Sancho has been looking really well these last 2 games, so.
I don't know, but I think that is one of the most frustrating things when you're seeing professional footballers who you know could do better. It's not beating the first man. I mean, we really need to improve where that is concerned. So Martial scored our second goal.
Martial's actually been having a very good preseason.
That's 2-2.
So, but it's not so much to me about the goals. Yes, the goals are great. It's his work rate, his pace, his pressing. Yeah. That has been the most impressive to me more than anything else, because this is a Martial that we have not seen in ages. It's we can put it down to Ten Hag. Personally, I think he's finally starting to buckle down and wants a chance at that World Cup side, because I think that France side has a chance at repeating. He wants to be a part of that and get a medal this time. But whatever it is his motivation is doing right now, he needs to keep doing that.
Also, Martial, you don't have any reason to sulk because there's no more Zlatan, there's no more Lukaku. CR may be out the door, so you literally are our number 9. You're our up top striker. You don't have to compete with Rashford on the left or Sancho on the right or Elanga, whoever. You are our focal point in the center. No more Lukaku, no more Zlatan. You cannot sulk this time. You're behind no one. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And we know we normally get good performances from Martial when he's in low number 9. Good afternoon to Alan and Jeffrey now jumping in on the inside. So we're looking at transition into the second half. And the one observation I would say is that the team, the second half team, which was the majority of the team was youths,
Mm-hmm.
looked like they had more control of the game than the first half team. Right? They didn't create as much chances, but the Australian Melbourne wasn't able to break them down. So they had more control. At least that's what I saw. The other thing before I finish off with the first half is Ilanga didn't have a good game.
No.
No.
Ilanga didn't make that front three better. I think if
Yeah.
our team was playing in that front three, it would have been a lot better and we probably would have scored more goals in the first half. But Ilanga didn't do himself any
Any
favors
justice.
with that performance.
Yeah.
And then too, in the game too, most of our attack was down the right.
I mean, how often have we been lopsided left
And
side?
that what kind of trouble me also.
And now we lopsided, it seems, after second game, right side. But we're not playing full strength, so we wouldn't jump to that conclusion as yet. Jeffrey is saying the reason for that, it was said from the get-go that the majority of the senior players can't cope with Ten Hag's style, period.
I disagree.
Nah.
I have to disagree with that.
Who said that, Jeffrey?
Well,
I don't know who said that. Where you saw that?
Based on the two games that we just saw, I gotta disagree.
Yeah, it's also remember that Melbourne was making changes as well too. So it's also you might have some of their reserves. It's not the first team going in there. So you look at the quality of competition that you're playing against as well. I think the first team, yes, they could play it, but I also think that it's going to take some time to get used to the running that he's demanding. So if fitness is what you're referring to, Jeffrey, then I could see a point there. But if you're talking about just overall play style, I have to disagree.
Yeah.
I see Alan throwing I'm sure under the bus. Because anytime he started to talk about Ilanga having a problem because of a one-sided attack, the problem on the side with Shaw, on the side with Ilanga, it had to be Shaw. Right?
What do you mean by one-sided attack? Because I thought the ball was going down more the right side in the first half. And
well, exactly. And Ilanga was on the left side. So I could only assume that's what he means. You guys go ahead. I had to take a call.
in terms of fitness, when you're a possession-based team, fitness does come into consideration, but I would think it's more mental fitness, right? Because with regards to trying to break down a low block team, you're going to have to be mentally prepared for if they ever look to break on the counter attack, right? So I did, and this is going off a little bit from what I'm just saying. I did mention earlier in the segment where Zidane Iqbal was balling today, spinning guys like a Beyblade and what's not, right? But I still kind of worried about Donny van de Beek, right? Donny van de Beek wasn't that good in the first game. There was slight improvement in this game, but it's not the Donny van de Beek that we saw from Ajax, right? So we now have the coach from Ajax, and I'm kind of having high hopes for Donny van de Beek, hopefully this preseason, right? Because I don't know what you guys think, because this is the second time where Donny van de Beek has been fielded with. I'm trying to find the right words to use. Donny van de Beek has been fielded with players who are not from the first team and have a lower IQ than him. I don't know what you guys think.
My first question, my thing with me and Donny van der Beek is what's his best position? No,
he's a boss.
the thing about it, because I watched him play today and I realized most plays he in the box. So for me, are you a creative midfielder or like what might consider a secondary striker? Because somehow he does just be in the right place. I mean, sometimes he don't get the ball, but he does just be in the right place that should, in case the ball reach there, he would score, And then I think I would have read sometime where they were trying to compare him and Bruno. And for me, can't do that because Bruno is a lot more aggressive. And in terms of how to play. For me as a creative midfielder, it's not just about creativity. Sometimes you have to take on the responsibilities, and I don't see Donny van der Beek as that player per se. You know, not like a Ericsson or a Bruno. You know, so for me, it as I say, until time unravels and things, and seeing him back with his coach before he came to Manchester United, I'll give it time. Give it time and see
you want to know two players that I think that will function well together, Donny and Martial, because those guys are great at link up plays. So the little flicks and passing the ball in between channels, little 1, 2, 3s. I think those two players will do well. Will Ten Hag play
No,
them together? Who knows?
I was
really.
talking to somebody today about the game, and they were saying that, Phil. They were saying that, for Donny to really shine, he has to play with better players around him.
Yeah,
And then I remember Ten Hag as well saying when he was asked about Donny van der Beek, where he thinks Donny van der Beek best position is, and he said in the box. So it seems that, and I remember, I don't know if you all remember, Donny van der Beek scored a lot of goals for Ajax in his last
Yeah.
season there. He was that late runner. He was that person playing the 1-2s with the striker and getting into the box. So if Ten Hag is expecting him to do that, again, I don't see him and Bruno Fernandes being on the pitch together very much. So
Well,
I don't know. I don't
that's
know.
perfectly fine for this season, though, in my opinion. So it's like you have one going, run the players tired. You know what? We start bringing in our changes, and now you bring on whoever it is, whether it's Bruno or Donny, and you can interchange them as well too, and rotate the side, which also prevents player injuries from exhaustion or overwork. So to me, that I could see that if they're fighting over who gets to start and role for each game, I see that as a good problem to have because you know what, iron sharpens iron.
Well,
So
guys, I just
yeah,
want to give a little interlude for those of you all who are taking us in from Trinidad and Tobago. The fan club in Trin City Mall are having a massive Christmas in July sale starting today. Is for 2 weeks. It's from the 15th to the 30th. Get as much as 50% off selected items. You also have kits and other memorabilia. You have stuff for 25% off, 20% off, 10%. Everything is on sale, and you definitely want to head down to the fan club in Trin City Mall before that sale is out and before everything that you may want is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
preseason sale, so you want to get your gears, get your kits, get your sweatpants, your jackets, your mugs, your cups, get every your calendars, get everything early. You know what I'm saying? Do your shopping one time, and that's it. You're set for the rest of the season. So the other thing I want to say is Arsenal Football Club continues to try to be a big boy. But when the big boy comes in, we get our players, right? As Arsenal Football Club went in for Martinez, and like other players, they have went in for this season that they thought they were going to get. Manchester United came, and with his official, Martinez is a Manchester United player, or I should say, is going to be. He's going for his medical. So, barring him failing the medical, he's going to be a Manchester United player, right? And that he ain't going and fail that medical.
Ah, come on.
So he is a Manchester United player, and we look forward, and he is going to be joining the club as well as Christian Eriksen are both going to be joining the club in Australia. So we're looking forward.
You sure about that?
well, I thought Ericsson was sticking back at Carrington to work on his fitness, everything too.
Oh,
No, I think I would have read that also that both of them join
I
when
thought
they join
I
them in
know. Yeah,
Australia.
I
I
saw
read that
somewhere
also.
that they were going. Both of
They're
them.
going to Australia, yeah, to join the team, yeah.
Okay,
I saw that also.
I saw I read opposite that they won't be joining up.
Well, I guess we'll
You will
see.
see
We,
who read
we,
that, you know.
No,
But I read that they supposed to join the team.
no, here, a president try to talk on these Arsenal fans, right? Because they like to switch up so much. Because let's go back to about a month and a half ago when Spurs signed Basuma. Oh, we didn't really want Basuma. Let's go to Rafinha. Oh, well, Rafinha always wanted Barcelona, and that money is too much. Let's go to Lisandro
Wait, hold on.
Martinez.
What money from Barca?
Let's go to Lisandro.
Sorry.
You know, right? I know, right? Barcelona have no money, but we're still able to acquire Rafinha over Arsenal.
Talk about team that have money, huh?
But let's go to Lisandro Martinez, where I posted that David Ornstein said that David Ornstein from the Athletic, said that Mikel Arteta is made Lisandro Martinez a priority the season after Gabriel Jesus. That is what Mikel Arteta said. Arsenal fans today saying, well, you know what? Well, if we had signed him, he would have been a backup. He would have been a starter for Man United, but he would have been a backup. So I'm asking myself, would he have been a backup to Ben White?
You gotta be joking.
I know all of a sudden they're linked to Zinchenko and they're like, oh, we always wanted Zinchenko over this. Like, get the hell out of here.
Arsenal just remind me of the story of the fox and the grape.
My personal take right now is I really don't care what Arsenal fans say or do right now. They can talk whatever they want. It doesn't really bother me. My focus is on just watching my side play and making sure that we make the moves that we need to do.
I hope when we come to the Emirates, Lisandro Martinez score a 97th minute winner.
You know what I like? There are two things I like about this preseason. One, De Jong is still our priority, but we are doing other business. Right? We went in for De Jong before we went in for anybody else. We signed 3 players while we still fighting up with getting the De Jong deal done. We all know in the past.
Yes.
We all know how it was in the past. Right? Whole window we running down Sancho. And after not getting him, last day of the window, we rush and we buy Palestri and Ahmad and all kind of craziness in one day. Two summer windows in a row that happened, where we signed a lot of our players in one window. So clearly there's a difference in Manchester in the back room, right? We clearly we have administrators that are, their approach is different. Yes, De Jong is the priority, but we could chew gum and walk at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
The other thing I like is this taking over deals, because we all know if Manchester would have gone to, it was Fenerbahce that Malacia was playing at.
Feyenoord.
Fenerbahce is in a different country. Wow.
Wow.
Feyenoord. If Manchester United had called Feyenoord and say, hey, we're interested in Malacia, they would have be like, yeah, well, 25 mil. Right? But Lyon came in and we were like, yeah, well, what is their bid? 13 million? We could raise that by 2. Take that deal. Arsenal came in, I think they were like 44 million, and Ajax was open to conversation. They didn't accept the bid, but they were open to conversation. And it was like, well, hey, what, 44 million? I think we could do better than that. And I think doing deals that way actually saves the club money. Because if we went into those clubs for those players, I think we'd end up paying more than we ended up paying.
You could.
That's not.
I totally agree. Full stop.
No, that's not a bad. It's almost like hijacking deals is not a bad thing, because you get to see what one club will offer. Like, for example, if nobody was in for Lisandro Martinez, in my opinion, if we were just only the solely club for him, that could have been about 60 mil, right?
Yeah.
But right now it was 45 mil plus 5 million add-ons, I think. So it's almost like, I don't mind seeing what other clubs doing for players that we are interested in, right? Because we can just add on another 5 mil, 7 mil instead of 20 mil, right?
So I am, and even in the case of Eriksen, he had other offers on the table, but I am sure when he weighed up the quality of football and probably the wages, we were able to do better than those offers, And because he was not a priority, I'm sure we're not going to be paying Eriksen crazy amount some money. So I like the business that the club is doing so far. And all I had to say to those fans that ready to hang Frankie because they find, they ain't like what they hear. And oh God, calm down. We're having a good summer.
Yes.
We're having a good summer.
there's a lot more behind the scenes. Frankie wants his money. He wants to get paid. He wants his loyalty bonus. So of course he's not going to say this stuff out publicly right now. So yes, just relax, calm down. If you need to smoke or something to calm down, I'm not gonna say what that is. You go ahead, do that.
Well, I don't know about where Phil is, but I know where you are is legal. Where we are is legal. Phil, is it legal by you?
Yeah, the high grade became legal last year in Canada. Yeah,
Right.
No, remember, folks, it's not legal, it's decriminalized.
I say what it was you smoke
Well,
or whatever it is you drink, whatever, just do something to calm your mind. And you go from
decriminalized. Thank you for the correction, Adrian. It was
It's not
decriminalized.
legal.
so
Just decriminalized.
just to add on to what Devin said, right? Don't forget, this De Jong deal is 20 million in add-ons. I cannot remember a transfer dealing that was that much in add-ons. You've heard about 2 mil, 5 mil, up to 7 mil.
I think Martial's was, but like the add-ons were like ridiculous things, like winning the Ballon d'Or, the Champions League, things like that.
I think
Yeah, but remember,
Martial was actually 40 mil plus 10 million add-ons. I think
That was like 36 plus like a bunch of extra, like it rises up to like 50 or 60 mil.
But the add-ons with Martial was spanned in years. You know, remember we had Martial for like 4 seasons. And I think when he scored 50 goals, we had to go and pay them money.
Yeah, they had to go and pay Monaco.
It's like, well, how long these add-ons will have an expiry date, or you know? So it could stretch on, I guess, depending on the club.
But the best part about it though is that we have everything in control because they can't sign any new players, anything like that, until they get the money from the sale. So as long as they want to keep on playing games, we can just sit back and relax at this point.
Yeah, I think the ball right now is in Frankie's court. You know, I think that's it.
Yeah.
He wants to get paid. He wants his back wages and his loyalty bonus, which is a contract that him and the club agreed upon.
I
do not blame the player at all for this.
Wherever Frankie,
you are entitled. You are owed money that you signed a contract for. You deserve your money. It's not. This is all on the club right here for trying to.
Don't forget,
to short money that they agreed these wages upon. So so it's okay. Take your time. Take your time. I am not worried. We will get him.
Yeah, Russian, you need my money. Now, all that left for Frankie to do now is get a placard, walk around camp now. I want my money. I want it now.
How this guy signed Rafinha for 65 million and
they can't give me 17. Nah.
Not even 14 million, right?
Yeah, it can't. Nah.
So I want to see now that they agreed with him if they're going to register him already. That's what I'm curious about.
That'll be a slap in the face for Frankie, boy.
I am hearing that they have finalized a price with City for Silva. So it's not just
I read that also.
80 mil for Silva. Think about that.
Yeah.
But I try to put myself in Frankie's position. You're at a sinking ship. And this sinking ship does not want to pay you. How are you still telling the media that I'm at the best club in the world and I want to stay? You actually want to go down because you were not even part of their you were not even part of their academy. Xavi does not even have you part of your plans. He's going to play Xavi and Pedri before you.
Don't forget, there's a loyalty bonus in his contract. Don't forget that.
There's a what? A loyalty bonus.
A loyalty bonus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So of course, you're gonna be saying all the right things up until that day that loyalty bonus comes in. Watch next day, all of a sudden, a different tune. So,
but here's the thing, Devin, because De Jong took a pay cut during the pandemic, and now he's
two pay cuts.
And now he's supposed to be getting that money paid back, and now they're telling him, well, if you want to stay, you need to take a wage cut now. So it's basically like, hold on. You try to play a fast one on me right now. Like you can go here and unfair me now with my contract like that. That's not fair.
And it's not like we have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge. We got the man that gave you a chance at Ajax. We got a man that brought you onto the scene at Ajax.
Them fellas who all the players and them money. But moving along from De Jong, and Barcelona. let's talk about this second half. Which I think it was Big Phil that mentioned it at the beginning of the program, and I have to start the second half bringing it back up. I am concerned that for 2 games in a row, in a midfield three, the most senior midfielder was outshone by 2 youth players. There's 2 games in a row. First game, people told me, boy, don't worry, ting. He was playing more advanced. I didn't push the point. I said, all right, no problem. We leave that there. But this is the second game now. And Zidane and Savage look way better than Donny van der Beek. Savage was really good at dispersing, placing the ball around the place from deep. And Iqbal shocked me with his strength, his ability to stay on the ball. Because let's be real, those Aussies weren't playing this game like a friendly. There were some tackles flying in that game.
Correct.
You understand? One of them pulled on Ethan Laird.
Yeah,
Ethan Laird didn't even want to touch hands with him after.
Nah,
Yeah.
That wasn't some of that. Let me don't say that wasn't, but some of that gameplay wasn't that friendly.
a bit
Right?
rough.
These guys were physical. And
Well,
Zidane
and it's
Iqbal,
Manchester United.
Zidane Iqbal showed his strength. So what did you all think about Iqbal and Savage today?
They're definitely they definitely did not hurt their chances of getting into the first team. I thought they did very well. Donnie is someone that's very questionable right now. It's normally I would say for the next game I want to see him in the starting 11 to see if it makes a difference, but I say with the way how it's been going right now, those other two deserve a chance now. Start rotating around and start mixing in the two. Start mixing some of the youth with the starting 11, and let's see what happens now. So yeah, they deserve their chance.
I would say that based on what I'm seeing so far, the likes of Fred and Scott have competition. I don't think Fred and Scott had any competition last year because
And
we had
Frankie
a,
and Richard.
true. We did, but last year, don't forget, we had like an aging Matic, we had Mata, we had Paul Pogba who couldn't stay fit. But I am seeing the likes of what I like about Iqbal and Savage is that as a midfielder, the instinct is that you want the football all the time. You know, some up and coming midfielders they kind of shy away from the football because they're frightened to make mistakes. That's the total opposite of Zidane and Savage, right? Because whenever Eric Bailly or Ethan Laird receive the ball on the right, I'm seeing Zidane run to them and be like, yo, give me this football right now. I want to show you what I can do with it, right? Charlie Savage on the left side, when either Malacia or Tellez had it, yo, give me this football. I want to show you what I can do with it, right? I'm also impressed with the likes of how Charlie Savage and Iqbal and other youth players, right, from my United squad, from the Man United Youth Academy, right? They're kind of accustomed to playing a certain type of style, which, in my opinion, is better than the first team style over the last probably 3 to 5 years. So definitely a headache for Ten Hag because now that you're seeing the likes of Zidane, Iqbal, and Charlie Savage performing like this in preseason, I'm not getting too hyped, but this is a potential to come in the future. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and it's also we have a minimum 46 games this season. There's plenty of time for all these midfielders to
And
get
five subs as well. Too.
and 5 changes as well.
Yeah.
So you could call it a headache right now. I call it a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Great year, Devon. That's a good headache. I mean, and Big Phil just said it now. Potential.
Yeah.
And for me, that just shows that we really headed in the right direction because we know Ten Hag, he has always been a big fan of bringing the youths into the forefront in terms of adding them to the senior team and so on. And again, so far for these 2 preseason games, these 2 young men have really shown themselves worthy from trying to secure a place on the first team. I mean, it's not like you didn't see no stage fright or anything. Those guys were just confident, you know. I mean, yes, even though it's preseason, you could have seen that, these guys, they're hungry, they want it, and they want to play for this team. And again, it just shows, and as Chad said also, nice of the competition also, So Scott and Fred had to watch themselves too. And
Correct.
again, that's a nice headache to have because then I'll
Exactly.
be like, who to play this game? Should I play? Yeah, that nice headache to have, And then to know that I could bring on a youth and he could do just as good or even better than my first team player or my starter.
Yeah.
Nice. So
You-
yeah, I
it's incredible because
get
it's like all right, you want to get complacent. You think you ever plays locked in place right now?
Ah.
All right, watch this. Watch this. You've come in right now. You know what? You on the bench. You player come in and watch him take his opportunity. Now guess what? Now you have to outwork him to get back your spot. So you know what? That is a win. That is a win in all aspects. If you're the manager, right there.
And as somebody in the comments say, we still got James Garner to come through, right? So
Correct.
So
Correct.
Leonard watch it too.
And it's like we said, we still have not even unleashed Garner or Garnacho yet, or Hannibal in this preseason. So there's youth.
I was reminded
There's hungry youth
that
prospects that are coming for your
I
spots.
kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad because we did ask about Donny and we went on a tangent with regards to these youngsters. But Donny,
No,
that's okay. We talk about
it's
it.
you tie it all together like this. It's like, okay, yes, you're in the first team now. Yes, you played on this manager before. He made you a name that people knew. Okay, fine, but you gotta be careful because these players now who have chemistry since they were kids, as was what was mentioned in the comments, they're coming in and they're gonna play this way they've been playing together. You're in the first team now. Step up, show why you should be in the first team over them.
I saw an interview that Charlie Savage said he knew Iqbal from 5 years old.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And
this
we
is
benefit.
your opportunity to go out there and prove that you should be in the squad ahead of these players. Go ahead and do it.
True. I was reminded about Hannibal that he was warned about his temperament after receiving 7 yellow cards and two red cards. Obviously not with the senior team. And I don't know if you recall,
His
he
one
was a
appearance.
little aggressive and was on the verge of getting a card in the game with Liverpool.
He did get carded. He did
And
get
then-
carded. He
Right.
got
Yellow card, yeah.
sent off in like 7 minutes.
Yeah, he was on the verge of getting 2, I should say. And there was a situation with him recently having some pictures with some guns and stuff. I mean,
Wait,
which
what?
wasn't necessarily illegal.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he had
yes.
he posted some pics on social media with him posing with some guns. And
Actually, saw the pics, yeah.
yeah, so all of those things would be contributing to what I said earlier, what I heard, that this is disciplinary issues why we haven't seen Hannibal as yet. So let's hope he could get himself in a gear because I actually think he could contribute to this team. And if there's any after what went on with Greenwood, I don't think if there's a challenge with discipline, we wouldn't want to loan him out either. We want to keep him close to home. You know what I mean? Where we could keep an eye on him.
And don't forget Greenwood. Greenwood English Hannibal from Tunisia. They can throw the buck at you faster than Greenwood, just let you know.
Correct. I hope he does not turn into another Ravel Morrison, though.
Ooh,
another one?
That would be bad.
Ravel Morrison.
That would be bad.
That's exactly what the person was saying to me as well. That I hope it doesn't go that way because he's obviously very talented. Rashford, let's talk a little bit about the senior guys. Rashford looked good playing through the middle. He dropped deep a lot to try to help the play. I don't know if that is something new amongst English strikers because we see Harry Kane doing that all the time. We're not really accustomed seeing that at Manchester United, but Rashford made it a point of dropping deep to help set up the play, but yet he still got his chances. He got a goal, but he also had a header across from Malacia that was very good, on point. So he still looked good. But what are your thoughts about Rashford overall?
He's showing improvement. Well, it's not exactly hard to show much improvement from last season. I still think his
True.
decision making in the final third needs a little bit more tweaking, but you're starting to see improvements. He looks more focused than he did before, so that's a good thing. It is preseason. I thought he was a little bit rusty in the first game. He showed a little bit improvement in this game. So you know what? You keep on showing improvement, then that means okay, the bar has been set. You're showing improvement. There's 3 or 4 more preseason games, if I remember correctly. Well, technically 3 because 2 of them are like one after the other. So he's got 3 more chances to show pretty much what he's ready to do for the season. So you know what? Go on, keep going. We got faith in you, and we're all expecting to see the Rashford that we expect, and the one that gets back in the English side for Qatar.
Yeah. Rashford. I remember taking in his interview, and one of the things he said that stood out to me, he spoke about a fresh start. And for me, from what I'm seeing so far, he's making his fresh start count. You know, because at the end of the day, we probably was despondent under Ragnick and so on. So with a new coach coming in with new mentality and knew everything, that gives him the opportunity to probably reassess, revamp his game, and you're actually seeing the results of it because again, Rashford last season was poor. But you're seeing that he has made some improvement from last season, and it's just 2 games. So, just as Devin said, I hope that he continues, to improve, continues to push, continues to fight, continues to improve, and hopefully we might get a 20-plus goal season from him.
Well,
so
we need that. We definitely need that from him and Martial. 20 goals plus from each.
Correct.
So the man of the match, voted on by supporters through the Manchester United app, was Zidane Iqbal. That speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
We must also mention the goal by Marcus Rashford that was set up by Eric Bailly.
Boy.
One of the things that stand out to me, now we all know, we've all seen Harry Maguire take the ball from the back, whether with England or with Manchester United, and go forward. We all know that Lindelof is fairly competent with the ball at his feet. We know also that Lindelof has a pass on him. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Varane is also competent with the ball at his feet. The one thing I don't see any other centre back at Manchester United do that Eric Bailly has done 2 games in a row now is beat the first man. Or just take the ball and run into space, or push the ball and run onto it. I talking about literally hit a man a beats and then move with the ball into space. I don't see anybody else doing that, and he has done it 2 games in a row now, and in both occasions to good effect, setting up Marcus Rashford, putting the ball on a platter for him to finish. So we must give kudos to Eric Bailly. Again, the problem with Eric Bailly, the same way he will do those really great things, the mistakes. he made some silly errors today.
He's a hero villain.
Yeah.
He gave the ball away towards the center circle. They almost scored on that counter attack, if I remember that.
Yeah, the man, as Adrian says, is a hero villain. He's like Venom, right? That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So but the thing I like about it is, I'm sure when Eric sees that, and he sees how that contributes to goals, he's going to have a vocal point now to speak to whoever he chooses as his starting centre back, to say, see that? I want you all to do that. I want you all to keep the ball, get into space, and look for the pass higher up the pitch. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a plus. Why we have 2 Phils on the screen? I was not going to say one One
One
fill is enough.
fill is enough.
The world not big enough for two fills.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's stream, boy. Somebody trying to.
So we have a lot to look forward to. We got some transfers confirmed today, right? And we have the unveiling of Martinez, which probably might happen
Tomorrow
on Sunday or Monday, please God.
Yeah.
So we things looking up, and for all we know, we just might. It's in a few days be seeing the unveiling of De Jong as well. Our next game is when, guys? Tuesday.
Tuesday versus Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
What time at though?
I think that's a 6:00 game as well. Our time.
Yeah,
That's 6. Yeah. Set your alarm.
Real fast.
So thank you for all of you all that have been joining us.
Yeah,
here
it's a 6:00
at
game as well.
Breakdown. What's that, Devin?
It's a 6:10 a.m. our time.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
For joining us on the Breakdown on the United Hour. Please remember to like and share the videos. If you are watching us on YouTube, press that subscribe button. Get involved, get connected. Red Devils don't die. We multiply.
Multiply.
Enjoy your weekend, everybody.